I mean, who actually picked the fucking Vikings? Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Monday night. You are seeing it correctly. This is not fantasy fuck around. This is bracket bitches. Same time, equally offensive, but different subject matter. Because we are actually going through the bracket. So our Discord came out in droves, so much that I got tired of basically capturing screenshots of everybody's picks. So we're just going to talk about a few, and a couple that we're going to talk about is my friend Soul and Josh. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. Watched some football, but mostly read while the football was going on behind me. So if there was ever a play that was being replayed, I watched those.
There we go. Nice little lead, probably into Soul's book club, right?
The first round was terrible. I told you that the Chargers didn't belong. It should have been the Bengals because it's all about how good they look instead of what their records are. Obviously, just like college football, right? They should have never made the tournament. Sorry, is that the same complaint that everyone has about that stuff? No,
well, I thought. That's right. I mean, to me, I feel like maybe you bitches, as far as Bengals, shouldn't have fucked around in the first half of the season.
You lost to the Patriots. Shout out to Mike Vrabel.
Come on, man. Yeah, Vrabel getting the job. We'll see if he gets the job done next year. But that is then. We're talking about now, and right now, the Vikings suck. Oh, my God. Not all pumpkins ripen in October. Some of them are ripening right now. Sam Darnold is not that guy. So
the slipper don't fit, yo.
Held on to the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting devastated.
Or he didn't, and they went the other way.
Yeah, so hopefully next year J.J. McCarthy is the guy. But we did actually get quite a bit of results. And let's just start off in the AFC because for some reason the first 3 games were all AFC. We had 2 on Saturday, and the early game on Sunday was AFC. You kind of led it a little bit, man. Chargers and Texans. What did you see out of that game that you absolutely loved and are not bitter about the Bengals not being in the playoffs?
Well, the Chargers lost its power. Literally, the power went out on the Chargers. So that was so weird. I think Justin Herbert hasn't had as many interceptions in that game that he had like all season. It was ridiculous on just how bad he was. The narrative, he's such a good talent. It was just so bad, and I just don't know what happened because he looked solid for the last half of the season. I was expecting a lot closer game. The Texans were limping into the playoffs. People were questioning C.J. Stroud in a sophomore slump. No, other way around. Just a thorough ass kicking by the Houston Texans. And shout out to Mecole Hardman getting that team ready, getting them all focused, especially for a John Harbaugh coach team who's typically always ready to play. Not that game.
Yeah, they won the championship in college last year, but definitely nothing happening this year. The Chargers fall to the Texans 12-32. Stat-wise, it's somewhat similar. Other than total yards, because the biggest difference was rushing. Joe Mixon went on a tear, probably I think more so in the second half. Because it's crazy because both scores were touchdown, right? With the Chargers, they just couldn't get the extra point.
No.
That was the weirder part of the score for me. But Stoll, did you get to check out any of this game? And sadly, who did you pick in that one?
Yeah, this one I didn't pay as much attention to while I was on the couch reading my books. But
just 2 at the same time, just
right,
consuming so much content.
All the
content.
Screen on screen.
Yeah, we have multi-view. She has multi-books. It's fine.
Just sleeps with books on her face. Osmosis.
What cracked me up about this is that every single one of us chose the Chargers. Not a single one of us believed in the Texans at all, and they took that personally.
Yeah.
Oh, they definitely did, and they hate Rex Ryan right now because Rex Ryan, much like us, did not have a lot of faith in the Texans, but the Texans had faith in themselves.
Yeah.
The first quarter, even kind of half, looked like, okay, the Texans are just kind of doing what they always did. But there was a turning point where I believe it was like a near sack situation, and Stroud scrambled and had a pretty good, deep completion. And I think from then on, that was like the gunfire for him. That woke him up. He realized, oh shit, we're playing the playoffs. We should probably do something. And they did, because they go on to score, 32 total, which I believe so far is the highest point total. Because the next game, the Pittsburgh Steelers fall to the Ravens in what numerically looked closer than what it really was, 14-28. But that was a couple of, I would say, garbage time because at halftime the Ravens were up 21-0, and that you could definitely tell that second half they just took their foot off the throttle a little bit and kind of let them in. But yeah, Josh, man, any notes from this game? And I guess Lamar is a decent quarterback from what I heard.
All right, that's
what song is that, dude?
I think he was combining a lot of different songs all into one.
I heard Superman a little bit.
Yeah.
I heard a little bit of Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
I heard Blue's Clues.
all I heard was not getting copywritten when I did that. Okay, that's all I heard.
Or you're getting copywritten from all of them.
Yeah, no, it's like when Ed Sheeran got sued. It's like everyone makes that sound, guys.
Yeah. Well, as long as you don't sing the birthday song, because that's copywritten. But we do have a birthday song.
No.
One time for the birthday.
I will live.
2 times for the birthday.
Hey! Okay, yeah. But sorry, mate. Yeah, so
like
please vamp about your
Giello song or whatever. Anyway. No, the Ravens went out there and told the Steelers, you suck so bad. We will own everything that you thought you were good at. TJ Watt was non-existent. I don't think he recorded a tackle. Gary Porter Jr. doesn't like shut up, Gif. Gary Porter Jr. doesn't like tackling Derrick Henry, who really does. Their gap management was not very good because when he gets going downhill, it's pretty crazy. And Lamar, I think, only threw the ball. I think he was like 14 for 15 in the first half, 150-something yards, 2 touchdowns. One real late there at the end with like 11 seconds left. What a drive that they did to close out the first half. And it was pretty much over after that. The Steelers did come out, and the Ravens just coasted. The Steelers came out, basically just ran the ball 3 times. There were some times on the sideline saying they know we're running it. Even their mom knows we're running it, but they can't stop us. Like literally, there was a soundbite off of the sidelines. I forget which player it was, but I just saw it recently today. And he was even saying, it's like, everyone knows we're running it. They know we're running it. Their mom knows we're running it, but they can't stop us. And they couldn't. Derrick Henry rushed for like $185 and 2. Lamar rushed for 82. Didn't have to throw the ball because why should he? He didn't have to. They own the clock. You run the ball, you own the clock, you own the game. And that's what they did.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. That is insane. The TJ Watt stat, verified. Goose egg. Absolute goose egg. No tackles from last year's Defensive Player of the Year?
Yep.
Whew. So, well, yeah. Besides, what else do we got for that game?
My only thought of that game is that Lamar has not lost since his mother cussed him out. So I guess he's more afraid of his mom than the other teams. So if he keeps that up, who knows what's going to happen with the Ravens?
Yeah. Dude, if anybody played team sports as a kid, you were afraid of everybody's mom. Like whenever you heard the mom voice, you're like, oh shit, man. All right. The dads, all right, we can fuck around with the dads. Moms, no play there. No playing there. Yeah, I think I messaged you during the game, Josh, as far as about Derrick Henry, because at one point he had 17 carries, I think like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the fuck, dude? Like if he walked off right there, he would have had like over 9 yards per carry, which is I feel like that probably would have been a record. Barring at least 10 carries or some some kind of qualifying stat that eliminates somebody who just got 1 carry and got all the way in. But absolute domination, despite what the scoreboard says. If they truly dominated, it would have been more like 29-10, like the Chiefs did. But hey, that's neither here nor there. And we even took a knee at the goal line, so really it should have been, 35, 36, But anyways, but they did good. They did good. The Ravens are a decent team. Now they are an absolute force, and I am so glad the Bills are playing them, and that's because the Bills won. It was a close game, 31 to. Am I seeing? Oh, just 7 points, Denver. That's all you could do. Only 7 points, and it came early on. I'll let you guys kind of vamp about that a little bit, but absolute destruction there in Buffalo. It was the tables were not the only thing getting destroyed. It was the Denver Broncos defense, their offense, and their souls. And speaking of soul, this game, you got to watch a little bit of that. Which books and or book were you reading?
This was actually the game I paid the most attention to, and if you are a part of our Discord, links down below, you could see me in the first quarter saying, "Hey, this is a good game. This is going to be a fun game to watch." And then me later going, "Yeah, I was wrong. That was a blowout."
Yeah, it was a blowout. Josh Allen's good at football, like we didn't already know that. That's a good Denver defense. I mean, it's not. It's just they're like, oh yeah, blah blah. And Bo Nix had his struggles. He was not accurate a lot of times. I mean, it was just he was missing a lot of balls that he typically does make during the season. But that's just kind of he's a rookie, guys. I mean, he's a. I know he's a little bit older for rookies. For how long you can stay in college now. And he was great during the year. I'm sorry, Jay Daniels is a rookie of the year. I'm pretty sure he kind of secured that, even though it's a regular season award. But we'll get to that in a second. But the Bills look like a wagon. Everyone's getting the matchup they want. Lamar versus Josh. The future, not named Patrick Mahomes, is playing. I'm interested to see what that rating is going to be on Saturday. It's the first time they played each other in the playoffs, but it hasn't been this type of Baltimore offense. The defense is one thing, but this hadn't been the type of Baltimore offense, and Josh Allen not throwing the ball to the other team a lot, because like he used to do in the past. So you're having 2 quarterbacks playing at the highest level they have played in their careers, going against each other, and just having Patrick Mahomes waiting in the wings as long as they can get past Houston, which they should. That doesn't mean they would, and that's how sports work. You just don't go ahead and crown them, even though we know the inevitable on that. And Tvshka, before you get to your take on the game, we do going back to the Baltimore game. We do have. I just got through my email. Ronnie Raven did see me in his thoughts on the Baltimore game. Okay,
I was afraid we weren't going to hear from him.
Yeah, we haven't heard from him in a while. I did request out before we went live. I said, Ronnie, you got anything for me? And he was like, yeah. And so here we go.
Woo! The Ravens go to the Super Bowl and the Steelers suck dick, you. The motherfucking Pittsburgh Squealers. Oh, I thought this was going to be a fucking tough game. No, it's a fucking rivalry. They might fucking do the upset. No, the fuck they won't. Not with Mike fucking Tomlin. Tom lick my balls, you fucking suck dick, you. Overrated. Steelers suck. Fucking J.J. Watt, more like J.J. Where are you going to be next week? Because it ain't the fucking playoffs, bitch. Patrick Queen, you are a fucking traitor and a fucking bitch as well. Ooh. Oh, my God. King Henry was looking fucking unstoppable out there. I ain't seen a fucking performance that impressive since I gave my son Cal Ripken Jr. a little meth right before his Pop Warner final championship game when he was 8 years old. That boy ran for 400 yards, and he spit shine every helmet clean as fuck after the game, yo. Of course, I ain't seen it because I had been ejected for brandishing a snub nose at a referee. But whatever, yo. We're going to the fucking Super Bowl. The only thing that's a little scary to me is, with Zay Flowers out, our offense might need a little punch. That's why I'm thinking we signed Joe Flacco to play receiver. He might not have the fucking speed and athleticism, but he's got the fucking football mind, yo. We're going to the fucking Super Bowl. Bills, Chiefs, whoever the fuck. We're going to fucking beat you. Suck my dick. We're number one.
Oh, man.
Good old Ronnie Raven.
Yeah. Good Lord. I didn't know that cleared our network protocol. It's good to hear from him.
We've been showing it all season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But also, so that is comedian Stavros Ruckus.
Yeah.
He better look out May 1st, 2025, because he's going to be in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Tom Liquor. They got beat so bad. Tomlin's probably gonna be leaving.
That's a lot of Steelers fans are done because Tomlin even says the standard is the standard, and is the standard losing the first round of the playoffs because that's what they've done like the past decade.
Yep.
I mean, they need a quarterback. They've known that forever. There was a meme that went around during this Vikings travesty, and it's just a picture of Tomlin like staring at the camera. It's like Sam Darnold's future, just what's going on there. But I don't think they're going to move on from Tomlin because, I mean, his whole career has never been over 500. I think that's an amazing stat. As far as like crazy NFL stats of all time, that's got to be one of them. The other one being Larry Fitzgerald. Has more tackles than he has drop passes. That is still my favorite stat of all time when it comes to the NFL. But Tomlin's coaching record every season being at least over 500, never finishing under 500, is up there with the craziest stats in NFL history. But I think it's come to an end. I don't think this is the last time Tomlin's going to be a head coach. But I just don't think it's going to be in Steelers. If it's not this year, it's going to be next year. I just don't see it unless some resurgence happens, which can. I mean, but it's just I don't see it. If your Arthur Smith is literally their whole thing was let's run the ball. We can't throw the ball. Hope George Pickens catches it. That was their offense, and it just can't do it in the playoffs. Much less there was other teams that lost in the last month of the year. The Patriots, they have a top pick. I think the Browns might have been the Browns. Anyway, it was like two teams that are in the top 5 picks, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like you thought the Texans, crawled into the kind of limped into the playoffs. The Steelers were rolled into the playoffs and then turned around and rolled back out. They were like the old man from The Simpsons.
Yeah. No, they were drug into the playoffs. Yeah. Only because of their first half season performance. They started off on a tear. I believe it was 3 out of 4 games. Justin Fields won with them, and then they went to Russell Wilson. We need to talk about that coaching situation. I mean, I feel like you got to look at the GM as well. But this is a GM that was hired in 2022. So look at the decision making. If you like some of the personnel choices, maybe give Tomlin another year because they've been trying to rebuild since Roethlisberger. And the previous GM was outed because that wasn't getting done. So we'll see if Omar Khan maybe can do something there. But as far as the game, there's really not a whole lot more I can say that you all have not already. But it is one of those things that I believe most of us picked that. Is that right, Soul? Go ahead.
We had 2 people choose the Steelers. One, Jason, he does live in Pittsburgh. He's a Carolina Panthers fan, but I guess he was going with the team of the city he now resides in. And then the other was Chris, Josh's friend, choosing the Steelers. So I don't know if Josh has any insight on that.
Yeah, he's a huge Steelers
fan.
Chris
impersonator? Okay.
No, he's a huge Steelers fan.
There we go.
So
yeah, there's only one Chris I know, and his middle name.
It's against his birthright as a Steelers fan to pick the Ravens.
Yeah. I can really see that. And Josh, you did not pick against the Ravens. You actually picked them. And you actually picked the entire AFC. Or no, sorry. There's an X there. My bad. You got the Chargers wrong. And you went with Denver.
Yeah.
You went with Denver, man. What was your thought there? And why do you hate Justin?
Yeah, why do you hate your co-host on
it's
Ruckus
not,
Wrestling
it's
so
not
much?
that. I had to pick an upset, and I'd rather Lamar play Denver than Josh Allen at Buffalo. I'd rather have the Baltimore at home on his path of telling people to shut the hell up. I'm good in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, I chose wrong as well. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, luckily we don't have money on this one, so I'm technically not betting. But I went with the Chargers upset. Thinking that they could get it done because they were just getting hot at the end of the year. It turned out to not be that. And then Soul, you did the same thing. You picked the Chargers, but you did get the Ravens and the Bills correct.
Yep.
And then Giff did the same as well. I only have him on here because we at least needed somebody else, and he just won the Fantasy Fuck Around Championship. So, champion, congratulations. Belt will be in the mail soon. Tomorrow morning, I'm actually ordering it because I had to move some funds around. I had to bring some stuff from offshores accounts. But Mabry going heel in 2025. Were you not heel this year? No, though. Haygood was heel. Haygood was heel. So are you doing the heel turn?
No. I am a good guy. It's the world that becomes evil.
Oh.
The world went heel on you?
Yeah, the world went heel on me. It's not my fault. That's how heels work. It's everyone else's fault. It's not mine. You just don't see my vision.
Yeah. So it's not being the hero long enough to see yourself to become the villain. It's the world becomes the villain.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's how you make an antagonist.
Okay.
Relatable.
I love it. What I don't love is the NFC. That's just coming from AFC fan. But we do have to jump over there. And I believe the first game, it was not the Bucks game. Sorry, let me pull up some of these. But the Buccaneers, they pissed me off, man. And I almost typed in Redskins.
Well, given the
I
benefit
can
of
say
the doubt,
it,
you can do that.
I can.
Yeah, you're allowed. You're
too.
allowed. Just look at the background of where he is right now. He's allowed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, look at that.
That's why they put me in the middle, so both of them can be like, "Don't you do it? Don't you do it?"
Yeah, don't you say it, Ricky Bobby. No, but that was it was the Sunday night game. That was probably one of the most electric games this weekend for sure.
That was definitely the game of the playoffs.
God, man, especially with this Rams Vikings game. It's like watching paint dry while it's getting shat on.
Watching Sam Darnold's contract just burn slowly.
Dude, right? He was probably wishing they didn't make the playoffs, so he actually would have got a better contract somewhere else. But we'll see. He may show up somewhere. But who's going to show up probably back at their home is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they lost to Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniel, the Rookie of the Year, for sure. I mean, it's got to be hands down. I don't know who else is really at that level of him right now.
Bo Nix and Brock Bowers, the only two that come to mind. That are like maybe Brian Thomas Jr., but Jaden Daniels and
I'm glad that
not going to get it over a quarterback.
I'm glad that my haterade worked in my favor. My haterade for the city of Tampa sports worked in my favor. Thank you, Washington Commanders.
Yeah, no, the Commanders did it, and Jaden, it was 24-35 for 268 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 13 carries for 36 yards. But, I mean, overall-wise, but just the Buccaneers couldn't really get a whole lot going. They actually have a little bit more rushing yards. I believe that was, kind of a little bit of garbage time stats. But the turnovers, man. I mean, the turnovers is what killed them. And really one mainly costly loss was the fumble.
Yeah.
And it was a very crucial moment. And unfortunately, Baker has put it on the ground a few times in crucial moments during the season. This was kind of like a little bit of a botched snap. I don't know exactly, with that play, who's at fault. I think Baker ultimately was on the sideline saying, as me. But any good leader is going to take the blame, right? You're not going to point blame, and that's how you lose your leadership, basically. But yeah, Josh, Soul, I mean, what were your thoughts on the game? I know, Soul, you hate Tampa Bay, so we'll stop talking about them. Josh, talk about the Commanders and how amazing Jaden Daniels is.
his demeanor never changes. Like, and when Zane Gonzalez, and I'll get to him in a second because I think his story is incredible. If he completes a pass, he might smile. If he's just even keel. He's one of those like people because he never gets too excited, but he never gets too down. He's just right here. It's one of those like mental states to where you're like, if you did something else, I would worry about you, type of thing. But he is just a baller. And it helped. And just think if he actually has a second receiver other than Terry McLaurin. I know we kind of said that about Lamar's career. Forever, it's like, man, he just needs a receiver. Turns out he did get his receivers. He just needed an All-Pro top 5 running back of all time. That helps for Lamar. But Jaden is just different. And this is what you're going to get. Hopefully they don't RG3 him. But you're not going to rattle him at all. When Zane, like I was going back to it, when Zane Gonzalez kicked that, who doinks in a field goal, by the way? Like, it's your game when you doink in a field goal. You're right.
These guys do, baby. These guys do.
Yeah, but
when
the
I
Bears.
saw it, I was like, oh, copycats.
Right.
Love
the
it.
double doink of the Bears, though. You can't you're going to miss that. But the fact that they doinked that in and they look, and I was like, what's Jaden's reaction? He was like, cool. Yeah. He just doesn't but if that's my quarterback and I know he is mentally focused, he doesn't have to go out there. He just goes out there, does his job, and goes along his business and wins. That's another thing too. So not only is he an electric athlete, a really good quarterback in the future of this league, I think he's going to be somebody that a lot of kids are going to look up to, and for the right reasons.
Yeah. No, I mean, mentally he's there. Physically, he might need to bulk up a little bit.
He will.
It's kind of skinny.
Well, I say that about Lamar.
He was getting knocked around.
That almost looked like a late hit.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, that really wasn't a hard hit, and he flew like a Frisbee.
I believe I could fly.
Yeah. Don't do it. We got a copyright strike last time. I couldn't upload a video, one of the shorts that for Fantasy Fuck Around. I couldn't upload it because I had just one little glimpse of that. I think I had the like the end. But anyways, so any final thoughts on how shitty the Buccaneers played and why the city of Tampa sucks?
I'm just going to call out all the people who chose incorrectly on this game.
You don't
Tvshka,
have to. Oh my
Josh, gosh. Landon.
What? Oh my gosh, the mute. What? You got muted. What happened? That's weird. That's so...
No. You sit back and take your loss, okay?
Landon,
you were there with me.
Yeah,
Justin,
I've been doing this whole episode.
and Jeremy.
So pretty much everybody is what you're saying.
Myself, GIF, Jason, Chris, and Ryan chose correctly.
All right. Well, congratulations to you all. Yeah, I mean, it was this weekend of. I guess the Buccaneers was the only upset because the Commanders were the lower seed because they did not win their division like the Philadelphia Eagles did.
By rankings, yes. By spreads, no. Technically, the Chargers losing to by point spread, it wasn't up. Sometimes they say that's an upset because one team is favored over the other. But as far as seeding, so I'm just going to do my push my glasses up just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I'll do it for you because I actually have glasses.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh wait, wait.
Yeah, do it. Actually,
yeah. We can carry on now. You can go on. I started that joke, by the way. You just kept going with it.
We added props, man.
Yeah.
Props make everything better. Mm-hmm. Look at Carrot Top.
I was getting ready to say, really? Look at Carrot Top's career.
Carrot Top, Gallagher. What was that one? Huh?
The Sledge-O-Matic.
Yep. But yeah, no. I mean, but you're absolutely right. I mean, Vegas did not have Tampa Bay favored. Do you think if they had Godwin, that would have been a difference?
I don't know. You would think it would.
Right. Because he was on a tear. That first, 6 games? He was outpacing Mike Evans. I mean, it looked like he was almost maybe on track for like a 2,000 year because it was nuts. And then, and then they got injured. Luckily, Kate Otten came back, but wasn't enough. Wasn't enough for them. And what also wasn't enough was anything from Green Bay. Actually, you know what was enough? Jordan Love's 3 interceptions. That was enough. Because the Eagles ended up winning 22-10. Even though, like, yardage-wise, total yards, Green Bay actually got more total yards. They had 302 to Philadelphia Eagles 290. But it's weird. I don't know. I don't know if I'm reading this right. Touchdowns and points is what wins games. Who would have thought? Daniel, hey bud, we're thinking of you, man.
We all chose your team.
It is. Yeah,
because we
if
love
it helps you, we all supported in your loss.
Hey, good. You'll understand this as a Cowboys fan. Remember that hope you felt going into the playoffs, and then just the rug gets swept out behind you? Yeah. Welcome to being a Cowboys fan where you're so excited about the playoffs and then automatically being like, what the hell happened? I've never seen us play this bad before. That's what happens, man. And so I'm sorry you had hope. I'm sorry you had Harbaugh. I'm sorry you had Justin Herbert. And I'm sorry your team forgot how to spell football this weekend against the Texans. Congratulations. You're a Cowboys fan of the 2025 season.
Oof. I love it. That's probably something like fire. We'll get a background for whenever Josh goes on rants that looks like fire. But I do love, we're talking about the Packers. Tom Grossi, y'all check out his channel.
Poor Tom Grossi right now.
But he's a huge Packers fan. Last year, he won Fan of the Year for the Packers, or overall. He was the Packers Fan of the Year, but then he actually won the NFL Fan of the Year. But I say that because he has these skits, and the Chargers are like, welcome back to the couch. Like to the Broncos, to everybody else that lost because they were the first team to lose. So Cowboys, you guys have been on the couch for a while. Maybe some changes. Maybe some Mike McCarthy.
We're talking to Dion right now. I'm not going to get into it. Well, look, hey guys, if you want,
you're in the talking phase right now.
It's complicated, guys. Yeah, we're sending
relationships, Facebook relationship status. It's complicated.
We're in that emoji. We're in that emoji send GIF coming up with a little inside joke level of talking. But tune into Rev Sports Wrap It Up, where I will probably. More information comes out, and I'll go over the dumpster fire that is our organization.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also a Grossi fan too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Grossi and his Packers, they did lose. Soul, did you get to catch any of this game while you were knitting? I don't know. I was trying to think of something else like a slow book, methodic. Yeah.
I didn't.
Dope, so if you guys hands.
I didn't really watch much of this game. This was, another one of just like you look up, you look down, you look up, you look down. So literally the only one that I really paid attention to was the Buffalo Bill game and then tonight's game. But Josh, how's your family doing? Because they're big Green Bay Packers fans.
I mean, they got farther than I did, so they always just fall back on that every season. Yep. So it's disappointing. Jair Alexander is a former Louisville Cardinal. Looks like he's probably done as a Packer. So that stinks. But all good things must come to an end on that. The Eagles are good. I mean, that's just let's call a spade a spade. The Eagles are really good, but Jordan Love this year has thrown so many interceptions. He was hurt going into the game because they played a meaningless game against the Bears. I know it's meaningless, Bears, whatever, but it still was. You got Christian Watson hurt towards ACL against them. Jordan Love got dinged up against them. And they just could not get into the end zone. They couldn't stop the Eagles from doing anything, even though A.J. Brown was reading on the sidelines. I mean, that's how bad. I just don't know what to say. Is like you literally – You got your ass kicked, and their Eagles receiver was still so pissed because he wasn't getting the football that he was reading on the sidelines, and you were still getting your ass kicked to that team that was having locker room issues. Like, that was a weird That was a weird narrative. That was a weird.
He was watching this game in the same way I was.
Yeah, exactly. It was like AJ Brown was doing his best Soul impression. There's a football game on, and he's reading. I was like, I think Chris Cosworth like, look, he's bringing out some scripture there, man. You know who else reads scripture on the sidelines? Patrick Mahomes. I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
That's like it's actually getting better, man.
I know.
That's a
there.
good Collinsworth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing, guys. I mean, we talk about these storylines, but it's just because there's more camera attention on things that we just wouldn't have paid attention to. But there you go. That's AJ Brown reading. It looks like a paperback. Sold. Do you have any guesses as far as? I mean, is he on the book club? Is he reading this one?
He unfortunately is not in our book club, but he's an avid watcher of this channel, so maybe he will join us on the Discord sometime. I forget which NFL player it is, but one of them is an avid romance readers and reads a bunch of romance books. And there was a video of him in the locker room just showing all of his books, and he had Colleen Hoover and all the famous romance authors. So I need to remember and find out what football player that was, but he is a big romance reader, and I'm here for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Was it Joe Flacco?
Joe
Flacco reading a book?
I'm pretty sure whoever that is, I want to find out just to see if he reads that Four Wings book that I keep seeing everywhere.
Yeah,
Fourth Wing,
but for the Packers,
Fourth Wing, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I mean, but for the Packers, their book has ended for the season. But Romeo Dobbs, I'm not sure exactly what that injury looks like, but it was very scary. And then also one of their, I believe, defensive backs, remember linebacker, Nakobe Dean, went out as well with a knee injury. So yeah, they did get beat up in more ways than one. It wasn't just in the scoreboard. Just like their division opponent, Minnesota Vikings, which it is official. It is final. Rams 27 and the Minnesota Vikings 9. 9 points, man. And it looked like it was just 3 field goals. So what started off hot as one of the best offenses, and I mean, even going into the playoffs, I mean, they had, that basically their first playoff game against the Lions for the number 1 spot. That's how good they were doing. And for them to fall this far, I mean, Josh, what do you think it is? I mean, is it just, I mentioned, Sam Darnold basically just being a pumpkin now and, ripening in January? Or, I mean, were the injuries? Was there something else that we're not missing? Or that we're not seeing, but we are missing?
I'm not going to sit there and say that it has to deal with the travel, because that was already kind of made different for them. Obviously, the Rams didn't have to travel as far for Arizona. For those who don't know, this is played in Arizona because of LA fires, and so and our thoughts were still with everyone dealing with such a travesty that's going out there. Yeah. But this was, I mean, it's a tale of two teams. Shout out Charles Dickens if you read The Tale of Two Cities. Well, no, it's a book theme show today.
Sports fan.
Yeah. But the Vikings didn't look so great, and the Rams were that team you didn't want to play in the playoffs, and they showed it because they wrecked that Minnesota Vikings. I'm pretty sure the Rams looked at that. Whatever the Detroit Lions did against Minnesota was like, can we do that? And and the defense coordinator was like, yeah, and they did it. And yeah, it just stinks for Sam because this was the Sam Darnold Renaissance year, and plus Kevin McConnell's a really good coach. I really like Kevin McConnell as a coach. But long story short, my thing that I said about the Chargers being the Cowboys, and congratulations, you're one of us now. Take out the Chargers, insert the Vikings, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their defense, I mean, it was electric all season.
Mm-hmm.
I know because they helped me out in fantasy quite a bit early on. But so I'm going to read you some stats. Let me know if this team won or not. So this team had 20 or 16 less rushing yards. They had 5 minutes less in time of possession. They had 5 punts compared to 3, so they had 2 more punts, and had less plays, by 20 less plays. Does that sound like the winning team or the losing team?
Sounds like the losing team, but I think this is a trick question, so I'm gonna go with winning team.
Yeah, that was the Rams. I mean, they were so efficient. They have less stats. You would think 27 points. You would have thought maybe that would have looked like 400 yards. They only got 30 more total yards than the Vikings. One of the big things, though, turnovers. Vikings had 1 fumble lost, and they had 1 interception thrown. I don't know if any of that was returned.
There was a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Okay, so there was a okay.
Yeah.
So
What was
six.
the throw? One that I was like super impressed with was Cooper Kupp running and then getting back and then catching the ball, and like it was like the way he caught the ball, and it was so far out. I was watching the game. I don't know much about football, as you guys all know, but watching the game, I was like, oh shit! Like in that catch, you know, when you watch someone catch a ball and you're just like, fuck, man, that was a great catch.
Yeah, the eye test.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to know the context, the story, the logistics, anything of that nature. I mean, whenever you see a physical feat, you know it.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you had T.J. Hawkinson with a spinning catch. I'm just reading kind of some of the headlines of the videos. But yeah, and Davis Allen got his first TD. I believe that was the strip.
Yeah.
Oh no! That's what it was. So the Vikings, and this was desperate. This was at the end of the second quarter. They went for it on 4th down, I believe, within their own 30.
Yes.
Didn't get it. And with 15 seconds left, the Rams scored, and Davis Allen got his first touchdoam from Stafford on that one. So looks like Davis Allen. Such a weird first name, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong in that? Davis as a first name? Quit being weird. Looks like a tight end, though.
He has a last name as a first name and a first name as a last name.
Yeah. Allen Davis, great. Maybe go own Raiders or something. But yeah, Davis Allen. Last round, Stanford and the Rams. Ooh.
Could be. I mean, he's who knows? Who knows it's going to go? Who knows as offseason goes? But
Third
I mean,
oldest quarterback, right?
he's got his Well, he's not the oldest quarterback. I mean,
third
Rodgers.
oldest. I said
What?
third oldest.
Third oldest. Thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you for correcting me. Is what I meant.
Yeah, you're good.
Was it Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers? Those oldest ones right now?
Oh no, I was thinking of Kirk Cousins actually.
No, he's
I'm
older than
just
Kirk.
thinking of broke players. My bad.
Oh, bro.
But yeah, no, Matt Stafford is 36 years old. Flacco's got to be up there. But anyways, yeah. What was some other assessments on that as far as Stafford and maybe being his last year?
I mean, I think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, you don't do what you did with the Lions and then go to the Rams and still being this efficient this long in his career. I just personally think he's a Hall of Famer, but I understand why people can go against that, okay? Because he has one Super Bowl. So does, and as far as quarterbacks go, that one Super Bowl thing isn't a big, you're automatically in the Hall of Fame type of argument. What's the rest of your statistical stuff? I think his statistical stuff measures up with them, just personally, just the eye test as well. I mean, you're talking about toughness. This dude literally separated his shoulder, went to the sidelines, had them pop it back in place, goes back in the next play, throws a game-winning touchdown. Like, dude's tough. And he's always been that way. He's dealt with injury upon injury upon injury. Doesn't matter. He wants to play. His wife went through a bunch of medical issues as well. I think she had brain tumor, I believe is what it was. That she went through that. And then they always get back there. But that's not has to do with it. I think he was up for the Walter Payton at one point. As far as the philanthropic stuff, I'm just getting way into the weeds on Matthew Stafford's career, and I'm just throwing stuff out there that might not stick. I'm just going off of my brain here.
Reading the Wikipedia page.
I'm not reading anything. I'm looking at your two faces and coming and just figuring out if my brain is right or not.
You're not reading it off my glasses?
No. Push them up some more.
All right, brother.
But no, if this is it for Stafford, great career. Obviously, he's not over yet. Still got the playoffs for him to proceed and see what they do. But I don't think he can ride off. I think he can ride off in the sunset and not be disappointed about what could have been, because he's played his. I can't put a button on it, but yes, Matthew Stafford, you're great.
Yeah, no, he's great. His kids are better. They were hospitalized actually before the game. That's what I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is. But been battling illness, of course, wildfire evacuation. There's a lot of other people there in LA, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things, man. As far as with Stafford, because the biggest one everyone brings up is Marino not winning a Super Bowl, right? So they're Miami, but still one of the greatest to ever play.
Yeah.
And it's because he kind of was in some of the forefront of that West Coast kind of style offense, high flying and just kind of the deep ball. So his stats were just staggering for that time, which almost was like automatic that he's the greatest to not win a Super Bowl. Stafford kind of felt like that a little bit though. He had with the Lions, of course, kind of an inept organization at that time. But he had Megatron with him, man. That dude was absolutely clutch, and they put up a lot of freaking numbers in some historic kind of runs. I believe some of his stats have already gotten broken. But
Megatron is tied for the third youngest player inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's how short his career was, but how great he was when he was there. For those who don't know, for going to trivia, the youngest player to make the Hall of Fame was Gale Sayers. The second one was Jim Brown. And then tied at the same age was Barry Sanders and Megatron. And you know what those four have in common? Two of them were Lions. That's how much that organization was a dumpster fire until this new four took over, and here we are.
Yeah. And but yeah. So who knows? But hey, they're still running. The Stafford and the Rams are still going, and that's what really matters right now. So going back to the brackets, going back to bracket. Josh, you did the same thing I did. You picked the Buccaneers, but you did pick the Rams. So you got 2 out of 3 correct on the NFC. Unfortunately, I just followed my heart with Baker Mayfield. My mind was telling me no, but my body was telling me yes. Soul, you beautiful son of a bitch.
I took that haterade.
Took the haterade at Tampa, and you got all of them right. All but one. Good
Yeah.
Lord. And GIF. Pick Minnesota. What an idiot, dude. Oh, my God. What an idiot. You did what? Oh, God. You're terrible. You suck at this. No. I mean, he would have been right there with you. Now he's just with the rest of us who picked two or three wrong. But it's still early. We still got plenty of time.
Not for me.
No?
It's inevitable is going to happen, guys. We know what's going to happen.
So looking at yours, you had the Lions to win, which quite a bit of people do.
A lot of people did.
You got Detroit and Philly. So that's going to be interesting to see if maybe you can get that. Soul has Detroit and Philly. Yep. So you're fucked. You're fucked. You're so fucked. Sorry about this. Yep. I tried to find something to help out. Wasn't there.
I just do this just to let people know of how much of a toss up it is, no matter how much sports knowledge you have.
Yep. That's true. But some of us are just better at picking.
So sometimes you have to drink the haterade.
There we go.
You know what?
over.
This is becoming more and more true as the show goes on.
Love it. I love how you've been like holding on to that comment.
I scrolled off a little bit to find it. Shout out to you guys in the comments.
Oh man, yeah.
On a
definitely shout out
side
to you
note,
all.
I found the football player that reads romance novels, and it's Travarius Mooney Ward.
Oh, Travarius Ward?
Yeah.
Cornerback?
Yeah,
Yeah. Former Chiefs player. Yeah.
he likes to read the romance novels.
Yeah, well,
I'm here for it.
we might put that on the moment of Zen going forward of him going through. I just have to look and see what that video is beforehand. So.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So also playing for the 49ers, formerly of the Chiefs, is oh my God, I can't remember his name.
Who you're saying?
He's a huge anime fan.
Jamal Williams?
No. He used to play for the Chiefs.
Jamal Williams is a huge anime fan too.
Right. Yeah. You're not going to know who this guy is. Chris Conley.
Out of Georgia? No. Who is he?
I don't know, but he was a former Chiefs. He's played for the 49ers.
Yeah,
Do I need to
he's
give
a
you
receiver.
the same context each time, or we good to move forward? But he's a huge anime fan, so I'm sure him and Travarius are just like, just chopping it up, being best buddies, talking about comics, books, and their love of all things weird, which is great. And we love you weird people that were in the chat today. Looking at you, GIF. Looking at you, Daniel Haygood, Brennan Marr, Justin Toner.
I mean, we had one really weird person earlier.
I was just getting to that one too. 13 seconds. Who's 13 seconds? And why do you last so long?
I'm hiding that. I'm going full producer on that one. That stayed up there. That the fact that it saw existence on the internet right now is
Yeah.
Josh, do you know who 13 Seconds is?
having a clue.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to the bottom of it next time. But what we're also going to be looking at is a little bit of percentages. So we are going through the ESPN app for our picks because this year they actually do an NFL bracket, which is great. It looks like Ryan has 34.5% chance to. And now these screenshots were taken before the Rams game, so these could have changed, and they possibly might have. But yeah, that's the rankings. Yeah, I'm not liking 9.6% chance to win. But hey, any given Sunday. And the reason why is maybe because there's only 3 teams that people chose to win the championship. So 4 for the Lions, 3 for the Chiefs, 3 for the Bills. I know of at least one that's going to be for the Bills. We'll find out who the other 2 are. And that's ultimately what really matters. So look at your brackets, see who chose the same team as you, and root against, and maybe even put curses on the people that will really have an influence on you winning. So there's a chance, Josh. There's a chance, bud.
Hey, I got 1.3%, so I'm literally dumb and dumber right now. You're telling me there's a chance.
Telling me there's a chance. But we do need that audio clip for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know in the chats if you're watching live or after the fact. What audio clips should we have that are, referencing kind of brackets and kind of in that nature? Let's go Texans. Y'all can suck it. We already took one team from Houston. We will take another as far as Kansas City. So anything for the peoples before we head out?
Watch us on our shows. I know you'll see Josh's face like almost every day of the week on our channel.
He lives on the channel.
He lives on the channel. On Wednesday, we're going to do Rev Sports Wrap It Up. We have some stories to talk about on Wednesday, so that's going to be some
stuff to
fun.
send to you, too. I got some shit.
And then
there's some stalkers out there, guys. Stop it.
yeah, there is some stalkers. And then on Thursday, you got Josh and Justin who are going to be covering all the Ruckus wrestling, all the week. And then we got a Rev book club. So join us in the Discord down below. We're reading, let me pull this up right here. Tuesdays with Maury.
Tuesday with Maury. We can show that we're actually like a club and not just you having the book.
Right? So this is January's pick. We need people to put their what books do they want to read in the month of February so that way we have I mean it works. And then
Korean.
so that we can vote on it. I mean, that could be Tvshka's book club.
Corinthians. Someone's getting married.
I don't even read those.
Is it Second Corinthians? Is that where that wedding verse comes from all the time?
No, Tvshka's reading the
possible.
Book of Mormon. That's his favorite book.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, it's crazy. I mean, you talk about that. I've got some Mormon shit to show y'all. It's wild. Josh, anything else for the peoples?
Yeah, we're gonna be me and my buddies get together once a week and do some game dudes stuff. So tune in for that live. Right now, we're kind of doing both Rep Sports and game dudes prior to leading into Rev Sports wrap it up on Wednesdays there. So if you want to see a bunch of 30-year-old dudes bitch at each other about armor and what you're supposed to do to make the right moves, tune into that on there. But
chickens.
yeah, we haven't done that yet because it's a turn-based game. So you just anyway.
But we do have a nice short to watch of them on a certain area of the game that they were playing.
Hey man, when you name a character Andromeda Lick, you are just setting it up for some great content.
Love it. Love it. Well, love you guys. Thank you all for jumping on. I know it's a little bit short notice. Thank you all for joining us in the chats. Hey, good, Toner, everybody. We're going to get the heck out of here. Watch your ass. Watch your brackets because, I don't know, the bitches are after it. I don't know. We'll think of a good slogan next
Go
time.
Lamar, beat Josh Allen.
No, you can just shut that out.
Hide your wife, hide your kids.
Stop it.